Welcome back to Overexposed, where today we're going to take a little trip down memory lane. We're going to talk about my history with film photography and let you guys take a look at some of the first images that I ever shot. And these were the images that kind of served as the catalyst to get me started in film photography and to just be interested in photography more broadly. So let's take a look. The first images here are from my 8th grade coronation. And if you didn't know how things worked back in the day, you or your mother went around with a disposable camera and took pictures. And almost always growing up, anytime we did anything, I had a Kodak or a Fuji instant camera with me to capture the memories, right, or whatever. And so these were from my 8th grade coronation. They were with a girl named Brittany, who Brittany and I never dated, but you can tell from this picture here and the look that I'm giving her right there. Look at that. That I probably was interested in dating her. And you can see in these pictures, we won, we were victorious. We were the royalty selected from our school. I was Mr. Jesse DeLay, complete with my poofy hat there, and she's got her little sash there. But anyway, nothing says early 2000s like these images. And I'm looking at the back of these pictures too. They're printed on Kodak paper. They're probably printed at Rite Aid, some grocery store. What a sex symbol I was. Here's another one of these images, and I'm gonna give you the backstory on how this image was probably taken. I handed my disposable camera to my best friend Chris, and I said, "Here, take this picture." But you can see here, me speaking my love language, which is popping wheelies. So I thought this was super cool. I've got my white Adidas turtle shells shoes, my Abercrombie & Fitch, and my jeans that were probably way too big. But yeah, look at that, popping a wheelie. Chicks love that. Now, you can probably hear it in my voice, my accent. I am from Eastern Kentucky. We have a very distinct dialect that we speak here. Something that's also distinct about Eastern Kentucky is we really like to ride motorcycles. So I've got a selection of images here of me on one of my prized possessions. And again, the way that these pictures were obtained was me handing the disposable camera to one of my friends and said, "Here, take these." But this is me on my Yamaha YZ85 doing some sick jumps. Look at that. A really cool dirt bike at the time. Kind of had the coolest dirt bike of my friend group. It was blue, it was fast, it was 2-stroke. I'm trying to do a no-footer here. The early days of my freestyle motocross career, unfortunately, it was not to be. And there we're actually getting some pretty significant hair there. Look at that. Another one, it looks like I've cut off the sleeves of my baseball jersey there because to be super cool. How many pictures of myself jumping these jumps did I need to take? This is a pretty cool one. I promise there will be other things other than dirt bikes in some of these pictures, but primarily it's going to be dirt bikes. It's a big thing for me as a kid. Interesting story about where you see us riding. We had our own little motocross track that we used to ride on. That's me right there. One of my best friends growing up actually owned the city landfill, right? He owned the property that the city was using for the landfill, and he had some sort of agreement where, they would bury things in the ground, but he would still be able to push dirt around on top of the land with his bulldozer. So we were riding on this motocross track that we had built up, and you can kind of get a good view of it there on top of the landfill. So if you ever start to think, hey, what's wrong with Isaac on Overexposed, it's because he rode dirt bikes so many times in the toxic landfill. And the rumor is that a local chemical plant actually illegally dumped lots of toxic waste into the ground there. So there's another fun little story. Another picture of mine, handed the camera to my dad and said, "Here, take this." Look at that. I'm approximately 15 right there, 14, something like that. Got long hair, look like the missing Beetle. Watch shoes were a thing when I was in school, if you didn't know. But yeah, super cool Dodge Viper. I was way into cars as a child. I still like cars. This is my super cool blue dirt bike, all cleaned up. Look at it there. You can see the highlights in my hair. You know, that was oh, goodness gracious. A real Slim Shady right there, if I've ever seen him. Abercrombie and Fitch shirt there. Looks like it's about 3 sizes too big. We didn't care, we're out here. Number 4, I don't know why. I guess, oh, Ricky Carmichael. That was it. Ricky Carmichael, famous motocross racer. That's why I was number 4. The GOAT. But yeah, loved that bike. Absolutely loved that bike. Here is another interesting picture. This is my best friend and photography business partner's 400EX. It actually says it wrote on the back, Chris's 400EX, like I would forget. I could never forget a 4-wheeler that he talked up so much, which was not nearly as fast as my little 2-stroke YZ85. So Chris knows what's up now. More jumping. So basically, to sum up my early photography career, I was an action sports photographer, I guess, right? Except I was using disposables. That was the day I got it, I believe. Yes, that was the day I got it. So that should have been at the front of the album. But yeah, look, that super cool. You always want to ride dirt bikes in shorts. That way, when your leg touches the engine or the exhaust, like, you can get second-degree burns. It's a nice feature. What kind of shoes were those? More jumping. Very aggressive. Freestyle motocross superstar. All right, here we are. We're getting a little older. We have the long hair back. This is early high school right here. July 23rd, 2004, actually. This is 8th grade, summer of 8th grade year. I've got my hair grown out long. I am wearing socks with sandals here, which is a whole vibe. Look at that. A whole vibe right there. Socks with sandals. Long hair. Again, looking super cool, kind of looking off into the distance. Again, these were the kind of pictures I was going for here. I wasn't looking for anything artistic. I was just trying to look cool. But from an early age, very concerned with aesthetics, very concerned with capturing the memory. So that was the thing. Here are a couple other pictures, and these were probably taken by my mom, but somehow they've made it into my collection. This is my freshman year of high school. I'm running in cross country. Lucky for me, I didn't actually reach my running peak until after high school. I got in really, really good shape after law school, ran a few marathons, but yeah, before that, you could see the talent oozing out of my skin, although my cross country coach probably says I was just lazy. But yeah, cross country runner, glorious hair. Still have glorious hair. We can grow that out. Maybe that's gonna be our project for the next year, is growing the hair back out. Snowboarding, look at that, more focused on me being cool. Look at that. Snowboarding down the hill at the back of my house. Was never really good at snowboarding, but you know, wasn't how good you were, it's how cool you looked. Now we're getting into there's a picture with some artistic merit, although I'm sure it was accidental. We were at SeaWorld, and I really enjoyed my first trip to SeaWorld with my parents. Here was a picture I took of this dolphin, right? You can kind of see over the shoulder. Got the hands reaching out. Really cool photo there. Purely accidental, but yeah, you can see my photography talent kind of blossoming through there. There's a picture, and I actually do really value this picture. Looks like my mom probably took it. But this is me and my business partner now, Chris Hammonds, and my brother. And we're all jumping on the trampoline there, having a good time. Kind of means a lot. My kids just got a trampoline. They're probably similar to that age that I was now in that picture. A couple more images. This was the last dirt bike that I owned right here. This was my CRF 250F. This was April 13th, 2004. My dad bought me this dirt bike. And as an adult now, recognizing the value of things and knowing how much this kind of stuff cost, I can't believe he bought me that bike. That's a really cool thing. I had the coolest dirt bike around. It was an awesome bike, and I had a really good time driving it. Unfortunately, you can see that I'm living kind of up in a wooded area there, and this has been my home. Let's go back a picture or two. Back to the snowboarding picture. See, I'm kind of live in the woods. So we're in the woods right there. That was where we lived. The end of my interest in dirt bikes and off-road kind of stuff, outdoor stuff, would be the end of it would be on the horizon, because shortly after getting this bike, my parents would move my brother and I to town, the city of Barberville. And once we moved to town, very hard to ride dirt bikes. I couldn't load my dirt bike on my own onto the trailer. My dad will tell you that I didn't ask him to take my dirt bike riding, but eventually we ended up having to sell the bikes. I think about the time we sold the dirt bikes, I was more interested in girls and cars anyway. So it's a sad thing, because you can see that for a long period in my life, dirt bikes and kind of off-road type activities, those were a really important thing to me. Really loved them. But at some point, I just stopped. I haven't driven a dirt bike since. So it's kind of a phase in my life. It's kind of sad, because you don't really recognize a phase in your life when it's an era in your life is passing and you're moving into a new phase where it's not going to be the same anymore. I've had a few of those in my life. Moving to town with my parents was one of them. Later on in life, my divorce, which we'll probably make a video talk about at some point. But yeah, you don't recognize when an era is ending and another one is beginning. If there is a lesson in looking at these pictures, perhaps it's cherish the moment and kind of the era that you find yourself in, because you don't know when you're going to wake up one morning and you're going to be living in the city, or you're going to be in law school, or you're going to be living back with your parents because you're going through a divorce, or whatever, right? Your life is very seasonal. And before you know it, you can wake up and things can be completely different. And something that was so important to you. For example, here's the last picture that I had pulled out to show you guys. I remember handing my dad the camera and saying, "Hey Dad, take this picture." We'd had a very good trail ride. This was one of my best friends, Justin Scalf was his name, Justin Scalf. And Justin and I used to be best friends, right? Like, we stayed all night at each other's houses. We went to ball games together. We talked, did all sorts of stuff. Best of friends, even into high school. But at some point, our lives just took us different directions. And again, talking about the eras of our lives and the seasons of our lives, people will occasionally pass in and out of our lives. And I haven't talked to Justin probably in a decade, right? We live in the same city. We were the best of friends, and life just took us in vastly different directions. And it's really sad. So, but I really, really enjoyed that time in my life. And I had a wonderful childhood, all things considered. But you can see through these pictures, I did always kind of have an interest in capturing the moment, making some sort of record, even if they were crude and, kind of childish. It was always important to me to capture some of those moments as I grew up. But guys, thank you so much for sticking with me through this video, as we've, I know this is a way different video than we normally do on the channel, but on this channel, we've made a lot of review videos and a lot of list videos. I thought it was time to put out a video. We're over 900 subscribers now, to let you know maybe a little more about my life. If you guys like this video, leave a comment, give the video a thumbs up. We can do more of this type of thing as we go forward. But as always, guys, I really appreciate you watching my videos, and we'll see you guys next time.